Well, folks, President Trump has followed through with a long campaigned on promise to ban transgender individuals from joining the military. As of right now, the Pentagon has moved forward with plans to pause. It's there's multiple parts to it, and there's more that we need to know about this. But they're not going to be letting transgender individuals join the military, and they're pausing all gender transition procedures as of right now. But before we dig into all this right now, get a breakdown of this. If you're new here, drop down below, hit that subscribe button, make sure you never miss another video from us again in the future. So obviously this is something President Trump has campaigned on. We're having transgender troops removed from the military, pausing transition surgeries and care for people in the military. Let's just take a listen to one of President Trump's campaigned on promises.
The transgender lunacy. And I will sign executive orders to end child sexual mutilation, get transgender out of the military and out of our elementary schools and middle schools and high schools. And we will keep men out of women's.
So obviously you get the gist where he's going with this right here. I think this is a very complex and complicated issue to dive into, but let's just get some of the facts right now. U.S. military not going to allow transgender individuals to join the military. They're going to stop performing or facilitating these procedures on active duty members right now, according to a memo from newly confirmed Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. President Trump obviously signed an executive order last month that was really aimed at those transgender troops, saying that a man identifying as a woman was not consistent with the humility and selflessness required of a service member. Effective immediately, all new ascensions for individuals with a history of gender dysphoria are paused. This is my thing. I don't want to say I'm mixed on it, because I don't think that's the right assessment. I think this is overall the right move that needs to be done. Ultimately, there are mental health standards in the government and for service members. It applies universally, whether you're a man, female, transgender, whatever. It doesn't matter. Conditions like depression or anxiety can disqualify any person that tries to enlist in the military, regardless of their gender identity. But usually it's only if it's untreated or very severe. Transgender individuals who meet those medical, who are able to meet that, I still believe at the end of the day that gender dysphoria, it is a severe mental disorder. This is not a little anxiety. This is not a little depression. This is a major mental disorder. I do not think that this helps ultimately the goal of our military. We want to have service members who are in the best mental health and have the best fitness mentally and physically for what they're going to do. You need to have unit cohesion and overall morale with inside of the military here. And just some more from Hegseth. He said that individuals with gender dysphoria already in the military are going to be treated with dignity and respect, and under the Secretary of Defense for Personnel and Readiness would provide additional details. So we don't really know what's going to happen with current numbers of people who are in the military who are transgender. Right now, the military has about 1.3 million active duty personnel. Some transgender right advocates say there are about 15,000 transgender service members. From what I've seen it closer to about 2,500 to 2,700 as far as the number of transgender individuals that are in the military. Ultimately, overall, this is not a big issue. We're looking at someone who's if you are not even a percent of the military. It's like you're looking at a 0.5%, whatever it is. You're looking at 0.3 of a percent of the military we're talking about here. This is not going to make big changes as far as the amount of people that are in the military. It's not like we're going to lose half or a fourth of our military troops. There has been in the United States decline in support for transgender individuals being in the military. I believe that is going to continue down that path. Right now, there were 6 service members who did sue to stop this executive order that Trump initially signed about a month ago. And the court basically just asked them, don't remove them from service until further court proceedings are held. This is the thing. If you have a severe mental illness, I don't think being in the military is what's going to be best for you. I don't think it's going to be best for the United States military either. And ultimately, you need to take a step back and realize this is such a minute issue. People want to go at it from, a financial perspective. This is going to cost the military money. Yes, it absolutely is. Do I think that the government in any way should be providing that care for anyone, especially minors? No. I don't think it should be provided for at all by any military, federal government insurance program. Should not cover gender transition services. They must cover, really, it's the psychological counseling, psychological help for these people. But if they're coming in right away off the bat saying that they're transgender, I just don't think it's going to be best for them. People could go through and try and make all these exceptions, which there's exceptions for lots of other things in the military, and I understand, but overall, this is just going to be the best move for cohesion, morale, and really just fitness, these people's fitness for duty. And I think it's about Brandon, and it's sending a message that this is not normal. Gender dysphoria is not normal. Chopping off your penis, I shouldn't say gender dysphoria. Gender dysphoria can be normal, but should not be treated with chemical or surgical mutilation. I think if someone's to the point where they are going to surgically mutilate themselves or chemically, not mentally equipped to be in the military. And you have people like this. Let's just take a look at this right here.
Grateful to be serving. Not a day goes by that I'm not grateful to be serving at this period of time. Being able to undergo a full gender transition beyond hormones, laser hair removal, Botox, lip injections, hair lowering, literally cannot be more thankful to be alive now. Not a day goes by that I'm not.
Ultimately, like we said, this is going to send a message that these procedures are not normal. This is not something we're going to tolerate in the military. I ultimately think that these people should be treated with respect and dignity. I 100% agree. Whether we're denying them into the military or not, they should be treated with respect. They're human beings at the end of the day with a severe mental illness. They've been duped. They've been tricked by the left wing that in order to feel like themselves, they need to chemically change themselves. They need to surgically change themselves. And honestly, I feel bad more than anything for these transgender individuals. They have been duped by this culture that is okay with bending biological realities. The reality is there are male and female. You cannot become a male. You cannot become a female. You are born that way. You either have XX or XY chromosomes. It really is as simple as that. But let me know what your thoughts are down. Obviously, you heard what I said. I agree with what this is going at. I'm sure you can tell in the way I'm talking about this that I do have a little sympathy or empathy for these people, because ultimately they've been duped by this woke culture. Just like most people, they've been duped by this. Ultimately, they deserve respect at the end of the day, but it doesn't mean you're going to be in the military. It doesn't mean that taxpayers are going to pay for your gender transition surgeries, the procedures, chemical, all the stuff that comes along with that. It's just not going to happen. And ultimately, we need to be focused on lethality, unity, and I guess cohesion fits in there with unity. But in our military, we do not need to be focusing on people who have a severe mental illness, accommodating them in the military. just not something that needs to be done. It's a waste of time and taxpayer money, ultimately. So let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Is this something you're okay with? Is it something you're not? Give me your exceptions. How do you, if you don't agree with this, how do you feel we should move forward with this? Because obviously there's something that needs to be addressed here. But if you like this video, drop down below, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and until next time, have a good night.